Yes, the Utah housing market is crazy. Welcome to the Frugal Family. My name is Julie, and this is my castle. Oh yes, this is my little piece of the American dream. It is a starter home, and we moved in 14 years ago. And we're not moving out anytime soon. That's right, we are staying in our starter home on purpose. And my little tiny house is worth a lot of money. What would we do with that money? How would we find a place to live that we could actually afford? What we can afford is the mortgage we already have. How did we get that mortgage? By buying our house 14 years ago. 14 years ago. And we've chosen to embrace life experiences over things and possessions. So where does our money go? Well, many of you know mine, a lot of it goes to Disney, and my husband, a lot of it goes to mountain biking and adventuring. We've always wanted to create memories and experiences with our kids. And so financially, we don't have the money or the situation to sell this house and then buy another house here in Utah. The only way that we could make it work is if we moved to Illinois. I don't want to move to Illinois. No offense to Illinois, but that's not where I want to go. I wouldn't mind leaving Utah. I'm not a fan of the politics and the dirty air, but this is where my children have been raised. This is where their friends are. This is where the majority of our family is. Well, people are moving out all the time, but the majority are here, and we love to be close to family. So the only thing that we could do to move out of our starter home, to level up, would be to get into debt that I just don't think we could afford. So even though we are sitting on this gold mine, this insane amount of equity, is it really even something that benefits us if we can't use it? A deal isn't a good deal if you can't afford it. And we're going to talk a lot more about those deals, those great deals that aren't actually good deals because you just don't have the money for them. Nothing is a good deal if it's put onto a credit card or puts you into debt or puts you into a situation where you are living beyond your means. Anything like that, that's not a good deal. And I have so many not good deals to talk about coming up. And so many things where I'm looking at what is the best value. Are these tips and tricks that you've heard for 20 years of ways to save money and be frugal? Are they actually, truly frugal? Are they really money savers? We're going to find out. In the meantime, let me show you how we are making the most of our starter home. Yes, we are staying on purpose in our starter home, but we want to make it as functional, as efficient, as effective, as comfortable as possible. This is a mess. This tends to be a gathering place. I clean it off and have everyone put their things away again and again and again, and yet it ends up a disaster. Here I am dealing with it again. Specifically, this. I am going to tempt fate here in Utah. Yes, I am. Oh, do I dare? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. These are the winter hats and gloves. I'm going to bag them up and put them in the attic. All right, Utah. What are you going to do? Quick interruption to finally finish the last of the shout outs for Trisha Sargent. Thank you so much for your Buy Me a Coffee donations. When you do 2 or more Buy Me a Coffees, you do get a shout out on all 3 channels. I just can't promise how soon or how quick it will get done because I'm a bit of a space cadet. Most of you know this. Anyway, thank you so much, Trisha Sargent. I sure appreciate it. You know that the Frugal Mama can always use a cup of coffee. Coming along. The reality is, it's a starter home. And I must remind myself of this and the fact that, you have a small house with modern kids, a modern family that's got 9 million different things going on all the time. You got to give yourself some grace, a little bit of slack, but then you also have to come up with solutions. The first and most obvious, get rid of some stuff. And then, of course, find ways to organize those things that you are keeping, the stuff that you actually need and use. I have redone this unit over the years. I do not know how many times. It has taken many forms, many shapes, but it's basically been essentially the same thing. meant to hold like my recording gear, a couple of mom's things that no one else is supposed to touch, and then like the kids' homework and music stuff. And it almost always, invariably ends up like this. So I'm going to have the kids go through all of this. I am not cleaning this out again. I absolutely refuse. They will clean all this out, make it beautiful, make hard choices, and then we'll put it away and it will look wonderful. Reagan and Mimi are sorting.
Except it won't cover my whole head.
They're going to match up our gloves to see which ones have matches. They're also going to see which hats are too small or will be too small by next winter. I have great helpers.
Let's see. Tight. It's not tight at the end, but it's tight in the middle.
Bye-bye, gloves.
Mom, I don't get this hat.
I don't either, sweetheart.
Okay, this
Why
is
is
a
it
pile
so
of
nice?
And these hats and gloves that we're not going to keep will, of course, be donated.
This pile is for everything that might be in the other bags.
Okay. Also, we have the sock basket downstairs. I know it has a couple gloves in it. That's my favorite hat ever. And yes, that one, the Nike one that Reagan's wearing, most of our hats and gloves are dumpster salvaged.
Where's the good gloves right now?
Mostly from public school, lost and founds that get thrown away at the end of the year. But not that hat Reagan's wearing. My mommy made that one for me.
She did?
Uh-huh. Ooh, I love that hat, Mimi. That one's so cute. That was sent from a viewer.
The Minnie Mouse one?
Uh-huh. You look awesome,
Mom,
Reagan.
This one covers my
Does it fit
eyes.
you, Mariah?
I think so. Oh yeah, and it's stretchy.
This totally fits.
Does it?
Nope. Look at me, Reagan. Oh, it's the 90s are calling. When you do have a small house, when you have committed to staying in your starter home, every piece that you keep has got to earn its place. This is prime real estate, especially in the Utah housing market. All of these little projects, each one will add up. I'm just taking on one at a time, something very focused and getting that done before moving on, and then maintaining these projects as I'm going along. Each one will make the house more efficient, more effective, make it more comfortable for our growing family. Not growing in people, just growing in size. My kids are growing up and they do need space. They do need room. We all do. We have so many passions, so many interests. All of those take space. We live in Utah, so in the winter, we're in the house a lot. And there's not a lot of room, and you can develop some serious cabin fever if you haven't created space for everyone, and that is what we are working on. And it can be difficult when you've chosen to stay in a starter home, but it is not impossible. Random socks and gloves that do not have matches that you have waited months, Mimi the cat wants out, that you have waited months and months to try to find the match, sometimes even years, and it still hasn't been found, they just have to go. And I hate the idea of just getting rid of them. But the reality is, I've waited. Their pair, their match, it's gone.